Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Saturday evening, January 4, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you guys utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Excuse me. Leave a comment down below letting me know what that's been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so as usual, we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us according to the latest Euro model run that just came out 3:30 p.m. today, and we're going to be looking at the latest GFS run that just came out an hour ago. So keep your eyes focused at the timestamp right here as we go to the next 168 hours, and keep your eyes focused right here on Jamaica as we look for this that we see on the key on the right, the greens into the yellows, the oranges and the reds, that represents inches of rainfall. Alright, so let's go. Heading into Sunday, we see that we're still going to be getting in on some isolated showers, especially across some northeastern parishes for sure. But Monday, we see that we have more whites than anything else, which indicate that we're not going to be receiving much cloud cover or rainfall at all. Definitely sunny conditions. Some of this definitely spilling into Tuesday, even though we do see some showers off to the south of us. Heading into Wednesday, we see more whites than anything else, even though we're starting to get on some isolated showers across the north with some of those greens. Thursday, definitely dry conditions as well. Something similar on Friday, and then we're going to be stopping it right here on Saturday, January 11. And we see there's going to be some moisture across the southwestern Caribbean, waters to the south of Jamaica, stretching all the way across the Caribbean into the eastern Caribbean. We can also see a lot of moisture across the east coast of the United States, coming down to the Gulf of Mexico, all the way down into Mexico. Right there, associated more than likely with a frontal system. But let us match the latest Euro model run to the latest GFS and see what's in store. So heading into Sunday, we see the rainfall that's going to be plaguing northeastern Jamaica for sure. But as we head into Monday, little to no rainfall at all, sunny skies to be exact. Tuesday, something similar with most of the moisture up to the south of us. Wednesday, something similar. And then as we head into Thursday, we see some greens represent some isolated showers across northern Jamaica. Friday, definitely less rainfall than Thursday. And then we're going to be stopping right here on Saturday, January 11. And I guess we can say the Euro and the GFS model are actually showing something similar but some contrast for sure. We see the moisture across the eastern United States associated with the cold front, reaching all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. But this run of the GFS has most of the moisture into Central America and the eastern Gulf, while this run of the Euro has most of it across the central to the southwestern Gulf. We'll see exactly what unfolds at that time. Either way, in terms of the accumulated precipitation for the next 168 hours, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Saturday, January 11. And we can definitely see that the most in the way of rainfall should be plaguing wherever we see those dark reds into the purples and the pinks. So section of Belize, Guatemala, northern Honduras, section of Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, western Venezuela. That's where most of the rainfall is expected. Also section of northeastern Jamaica, eastern Cuba, northern Puerto Rico. We can also see a lot of rainfall reaching all the way from Dominica southward towards Trinidad and Tobago. Let us see if the latest GFS supercomputer model is showing something similar. Alright, so I guess we can say it is showing something similar in a sense in terms of the Central America rainfall, the dark reds into the purples, the pinks. We can see by the key on the right that represents from 2 all the way up to maybe 4 or 5 inches of rainfall for sure. And we can see an inch or 2 across sections of the Eastern Caribbean, across section of Northern Puerto Rico. Not really in consensus with what the Euro was showing for Eastern Cuba or Northeastern Jamaica, but we'll see exactly what unfolds. But regarding the total accumulated precipitation forecast over the next 7 days, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall expected from now up until Saturday, January 11. And we can see that the Euro is still adamant that the most rainfall should be plaguing St. Ann, St. Mary and Portland, with those greens into the yellows and the oranges. They're representing over from 15 all the way up to 60 millimeters of rainfall, 68 millimeters of rainfall to be exact. The GFS still a bit more reserved, showing the blues into the dark greens. Represents anywhere from maybe 1 millimeter all the way up to maybe 15 millimeters of rainfall. And we see that there's a consensus that northeastern parishes, so St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland, especially Portland, is going to be getting on the brunt of that rainfall. And whatever happens, I'll definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs on our other social media platforms. If you take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, you can see the blue spike line right here associated with the frontal system, reaching all the way down into portion of the Bahamas as well as the Gulf of Mexico. You can see a ridge of high pressure right here that we know is responsible for sending all of the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can make out all of these entities. First of all, we can make out the clouds associated with that frontal system stretching all the way into portion of the northwestern Caribbean, the eastern Gulf right here. We can make out the low level flow of the low level to mid level clouds pushing from east west, all courtesy of that easterly flow of wind brought about by the ridge of high pressure to the north. And we can make out a lot of clouds associated with a lot of moisture brought about by troughing across the southwestern Caribbean, definitely lashing portions of eastern Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama as we speak. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Saturday, January 4, 2025. It was stated that morning and afternoon rainfall was in the forecast of parts of northern Jamaica for Saturday, January 4. And we know northern Jamaica, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland. And what ended up happening? As early as 9:01 a.m., the visible satellite images were posted here, not only on our Twitter page with the Jamaica, but on our Instagram page with the .Jamaica, on our TikTok page with the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page with the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as you make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can definitely make out that northeasterly flow. Look at the clouds pushing in from the northeast towards Portland, St. Mary, St. Ann for sure. And we can even make out that upper level flow, all courtesy of the upper level wind shear blowing those high cirrus clouds up towards the northeast. But we can definitely make out where the clouds were sitting on top of. Definitely Portland, St. Mary and St. Ann. Some of these clouds bring overcast skies, if not some isolated showers for sure. And even although no afternoon post was made, you can see right here what took place during the afternoon. We're still getting in on that moist northeasterly flow for sure, still bringing the clouds and the overcast skies and the isolated shores to section of northern Jamaica. Anywhere from Trelawney eastward, St. Ann, St. Mary, Portland definitely got in on some of that action. And if we take a look at the infrared close-up satellite images, we can't see anything but those high cirrus clouds being streaked off towards the northeast. If you look closely, I think you can make out the low level clouds being pushed towards the southwest. But that's basically it for now. And if we take a look at what took place on the Flatbridge camp today at around 3:01 p.m. excuse me, we can definitely see that it was windy but fair, dry for sure, not much in the way of rainfall, but some cloudy conditions, maybe some cool conditions too. People in their vehicles going about their business. The rear Cobra definitely chilling right now. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint a picture of where we had that rainfall today across section of some northern parishes for sure, where we see these grays into the purples, even into the blues and greens that represent millimeters of rainfall. And we can see that the southern areas are definitely dry. If we take a look at the latest still image, don't have any comments tonight to show, but the latest still image right here is showing 0025 UTC. I don't see much taking place, but those cirrus clouds that we mentioned that are still streaking off towards the northeast, that is basically it. And if we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar imagery, unfortunately the Cuban Doppler radar glitched out today at around 4 p.m. and the time is now 7:36 p.m. so we know these things can happen, but at that time we saw that we were definitely getting on some isolated shores pushing from northeast to southwest towards Portland and St. Mary. But right now we don't know what's happening. If we take a look at the Guantanamo Bay Cuban naval radar imagery, excuse me, we can still make out some of the same. Some rainfall pushing towards northeastern parishes. Not sure if it's actually raining over there right now. Taking a look at the latest Cayman radar, let's see what's happening right now over there. You know, the Cayman radar shows us western Jamaica, what's happening over this side of the island. Don't see much happening over there or across the waters in and around the Cayman Islands at all. If you take a look at the very latest from See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing Flatbridge as of 7:37 p.m., we can see that the weather is definitely fair. People in their vehicles going about their business. Rear Cobra still chilly, not much in the way of bad weather at all. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, you can visit See Jamaica on YouTube and subscribe, because they're planning on increasing the amount of cameras that they have in and around the island. So subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 24 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Sunday, temperature should dip down to about 23 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And look at the colors. We're seeing bright greens into the yellows that represents anywhere from 15 all the way up to 25 knot winds tonight. So it's going to be windy, a windy and cool night for sure. I'm sure you're already seeing the winds kicking up outside. And there's more of that to come throughout the night into tomorrow. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is valid for 18th on Sunday when calculated. That's about 1 p.m. on Sunday. And we can see Jamaica right here embedded in blue colors. That's about maybe 2 degrees Celsius below normal temperatures, like what we see here on the key on the right. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of January across Jamaica are around 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And when that's converted to degrees Celsius, that's about 30.2 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 28 to 30 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Sunday. It could definitely be cooler than that in some spots, especially in the hilly areas like Manchester or even in and around the Blue Mountains. And we're indeed grateful that my JPS Online still has no maintenance outage advisories out, because know that when we have power outages that they've scheduled, we can definitely have even more heat. The heat is definitely exacerbated because we don't have our fan or AC to cool us down at all. So we're indeed grateful that they're recognizing the holiday times. Either way, if tomorrow is a bit too hot for you, we have some tips right here to beat the heat. It says here, dress down, wear lightweight clothing, and use sunscreen. Check on others, including children, elderly people with medical conditions, and pets. Be cool, stay indoors, and make use of fans and air conditioners. Avoid alcohol and caffeine as they can make dehydration worse. Limit non-essential strenuous activity during the hottest parts of the day. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to always stay hydrated. Even if you're not thirsty, drink a lot of water throughout the day. Put away those sugar drinks, drink water instead. If we take a look at the dry air map, unfortunately we still don't have the Saharan dust map to show, it's still glitched out. But we know the dry air is represented by the yellows, the oranges, reds, and the whites within those reds that we see on the key on the bottom. And we see a lot of dry air across the waters to the east of the United States, across the waters of the Gulf of Mexico, the northwestern Caribbean, the waters to the north of the Caribbean, the waters to the east of the Caribbean, across the main development region, and the northern portion of the North Atlantic for sure. And we know the dry air can definitely limit the amount of moisture that we have in and around the islands. And we see that there is a lot of moisture as represented by the blues into the grays that represent cloud cover as well across sections of the Caribbean as well as northern South America. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, the winds are going to be definitely kicking up the waves. We see a lot of purples in and around the central to the western Caribbean. The waters to the north of the island, 2.5 meter wave height. Fisher folk won't like that at all. On the southeast side, 2.2. On the southwest side, 1.7. And that's because of the strong east-northeasterly or northeasterly flow. Look at these colors, we see the bright greens into the yellows represent anywhere from 15 all the way up to 25 knot winds. Across the north coast, 19 knots right there expected tomorrow. South coast 16 knots. Could definitely be higher than that in some spot. If we take a closer look at Jamaica, 1 p.m. tomorrow, look at this. 23 knot winds out to sea. Same thing over here to the north of Portland. To the south of St. Thomas, 21 knot winds. And we can clearly see that the least amount of wind should be on the southern side of the island. The waters to the south of the island too. Clearly we see that strong northeasterly flow for sure. And the upper level winds haven't changed. Still coming in from the southwest for sure. So if we get in on some afternoon convection, those high cirrus clouds or cumulonimbus clouds are going to be streaked off towards the northeast. Let us take a look at the actual rainfall forecast maps now. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing the rainfall that's expected on Sunday, January 5, 2025. So this is around 6 a.m. and clearly we see that there's not much change. The most rainfall according to the Euro should be plaguing St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. GFS showing something similar, even although the Euro is trying to incorporate Trelawney and St. James, as well as a section of Northern St. Andrew and St. Thomas. We'll see exactly what unfolds at that time. And even by around 3 p.m., we see that there's not much change. The blues represent rainfall should still be plaguing Portland for sure according to both models. And we see that even the accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in consensus that the most rainfall should still be across St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland, especially Portland, where the Euro has Portland receiving, especially Western Portland, up to 0.73 of an inch of rainfall or even more. GFS showing up to 0.41 of an inch of rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds. I'll definitely be here to keep you posted with what occurs on my other social media platforms, so stay tuned. Either way, this is expected. We're in the month of January. In Kingston, during this month, we usually receive up to 20 millimeters of rainfall. That's about close to 1 inch. In Montego Bay, we usually receive up to 3 inches of rainfall. That's about 75 millimeters of rainfall. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives for the month of January or for the year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com, and that website will show you that information. And you can use this nice little graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters that we receive on the rain gauge. You know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have some clouds bring a lot of moisture, showers and thunderstorms to sections of Central America, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, section of Venezuela getting in on the action, so too the ABC Islands. You can also see section of the Eastern Caribbean getting in on their fair share of isolated activity too. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the Northeastern Caribbean, let's see what's happening over there. So, excuse me, we can see some moisture that's currently plaguing St. Kitts and Nevis, the waters in and around Antigua and Barbuda, the waters to the east of Guadeloupe, northern Puerto Rico, definitely getting lashed as we speak. And if we load these images from earlier today, you can see that northern and western Puerto Rico, central and western Puerto Rico, as a matter of fact, definitely gotten on some amount of rainfall. So to Dominica, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, don't see much happening across Barbados right now, but we can make out some isolated showers coming in from the east northeast, maybe to affect Barbados later on tonight. We can also see a lot of rainfall passing between St. Vincent and St. Lucia as we speak, some moderate to heavy rainfall like that. Some of this rainfall affecting St. Lucia and St. Vincent as we speak. Not seeing much affecting Grenadines right now or Grenada, but we do see some moisture passing to the north of Tobago, some moisture to the east of Trinidad. Maybe that could make it towards these islands tonight. Taking a look at the weather via Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall passing to the north of the ABC Islands, some of it affecting Aruba as we speak. We can also see a lot of rainfall to the east of Nicaragua, some isolated shores right there affecting sections of northwestern Honduras, section of Colombia getting on the action. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, this map from the GFS and this map from the Euro are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Sunday. And we can see that southern Belize is going to be getting on some of the rainfall, so too northeastern Guatemala, northern Honduras, eastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, Colombia, sections of Venezuela. We know wherever the reds into the dark reds and purples, that's where we're getting up to 1 inch or more of rainfall, maybe 2 to 3 inches for sure. Maybe some isolated flash flooding could take place. We can also see some rainfall affecting sections of Venezuela, the ABC Islands, section of Guyana, even section of Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, sections of St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, even sections of Puerto Rico, the British Virgin Islands, northeastern Jamaica for sure. And we see that both the Euro and the JFS modes are in consensus with this forecast. I know that when they're in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.